Hello guys, good evening. Welcome back to our live coding section. So I hope we all are doing well with our project. So the goal of this live coding section is to get us discuss the task that we've been given, because I found out that the resources are bulky and they are not really beginner friendly. So if we have something that we do every weekly, it will help us to join it together. So, but the aim of this live connection today is I'll be taking in questions. So if you have any questions, you can just drop them in the chat box. So I'll take them and I will solve them with you guys, explaining the task. So that is my intranet open. So if you have any questions, just drop them in the chat box. I will respond to them. Do you have any question? Are you is there any task that you've been battling with? Just drop them in the chat box. We'll respond to them. Waiting. We are waiting, guys. Drop your questions. Drop your questions. Drop your questions. I hope you can hear me. Can you all hear me? So in the absence of question, let me just go through where we stopped yesterday. So we are still on the shell basis project. Okay. So yesterday we stopped at question 8. Was it question 8? Yeah, question 8. That was where we stopped at. So let's just continue with question 9. So here in question 9 is bye my first directory. So here we have to delete the directory, my first directory, that is in the TMT directory. So this is very simple, right? Let me get my sandbox. Let me use webtem. So this is my sandbox. I change directory to root, and I change directory to ALU shell, then I change directory to basis. So here we have to delete my first directory. My first directory that is in the TMT directory. So let me just get my 9 first directory. So I've copied it, Ctrl C. Now this particular project is still the basis of shell. So basically the aim is to understand the basic shell commands. So the cd, the ls, the change mod, the pwd, rm, mv, cp for copying, file, and all those commands. Those are the things they actually want us to get familiar with. So because those are the basics of shell that we will need, that we need daily. So let me just vi into 9. Into 9 on top. So now to delete a file, remember the structure. So here my first directory is in the TMT folder, right? So meaning is in the TMT folder. Now we have to delete my first directory. Now the command for deleting a folder, an empty folder, if the folder is not empty, rmdir will throw an error. It will not work. So, but if the folder is empty, you can make use of rmdir. So if you make use of rmdir, you will delete the folder. So the command for deleting if an empty folder is rmdir. So you write the rmdir tmt, then my first directory. So always remember this first line, the Shebang signs. So let me just save it and exit. And let me remember to also execute it. Chmod 9. Now let me show you guys something. Let's say I create a new folder and say make dir ALU now. ALU. If I list my content, you see I have ALU here. There is colored blue. Now, if I change directory to ALU and I create a new folder, say my underscore first directory. Now, if I print my working directory, you see the structure. You can see that. Sorry. So this my first directory is in ALU. So this is what we are expected to do. So now, if I write something, let's say I change directory to, or let me just write something. I say, let me change directory to my first. Okay, and create an empty file. Say touch readme now. So readme is an empty file that is in my first directory. So you can see readme here. Now if I change my directory backward, to the parent folder now, which is ALU. So I want to try and delete this my first directory. Remember that my first directory is not empty again. So if I run rm rmdir and call you see that failed to remove my first directory not empty. So this is what I was trying to emphasize, that rmdir can only work for an empty directory. So as long as the directory is not empty, imdir will fall. Now, how do you not delete a non-empty folder? So to delete a non-empty folder, you make use of rm -rf. -r means remove, f -r means remove, then the f there is folder, so space, then my. So now it's gone. We don't have my first directory again. So that's what I was trying to explain. So, and to clear your terminal, you can either type clear like this, or just hit Ctrl+L to clear your terminal. So the terminal is clear. Now let me change directory backward and delete ALU. Now ALU is empty, right? So if I run rm imdir and call on ALU, you see ALU is gone. Now rmdir only works for an empty folder. So that is that. Let me go and check my code. Maybe for my work. Code check. Congratulations, all tests pass. So let's go to the next mission. now is back to the future. Now write a script that changes the working directory to the previous one. Let me just explain this in my terminal. So currently, if I print my working directory, to print your current working directory, you run the pwd command. So here I'm saying I'm currently working in basis. Now if I change my directory back to ALU shell, now to go back, to go 2 level backward, you make use of dot dot. Now the first dot is the current working directory, the second dot is the parent directory. So if I'm changing my directory back to ALU, which is ALU-share, which is the parent directory, I make use of cd double dot. Now if I enter, you see I'm in ALU share. So let's assume that was a mistake and I want to quickly go back to basis. What do I need to do? So the command for doing that is cd space minus. So if you are going back to the previous working directory, you make use of cd space minus. So if I enter now, you see that I am back in basis. So that is that for that. So if you are writing a script for going back to the future, you just vi 10 tab enter. So here then your shape and sign, then the cd space minus. So cd space minus will take you back to the previous working directory. So let me just escape here. WQ. So that is that on that. So let me check your code. If you write that, you check your code and it should check. So the next one is list. Write a script that lists all files, even ones with names beginning with a period character. You want begin the period character. So remember, listing a file, right, will require you to run the ls command. Now, if that is the case, if you must add the ls command for listing a file. So it means the first command we are writing is ls command. Then it now says even ones with names beginning with a period character, which is dot space. The next thing that will come is dot, which are normally hidden. Now, in the current directory and the parent working directory and the / put. Now let me just display that here. So if I am to list all files, even the ones with names beginning with a period character. Now remember, to just list the content of the directory, you make use of ls. You don't see that? Thank you. Thank you. So if I'm to list the content of a directory, normally it's just to run the ls command. Ls command will list the content. But here I'm listing all. So ls-al all long format in the current directory. So if I just add l, it will show me the long format, but it's not showing me any hidden files. So the command must show the hidden files. So I will run again ls-a for all hidden files, l for long format. Then in the current working directory, which is single dot space, in the parent working directory, which is backward dot dot, then and also the bool, right, bol. Sorry, bot. Actually, I don't have boot, but let me see and let me enter it and see what's going to show me. Oh, cool. Cool, you see? Can you see it? So that is the command. It's showing me file, even the boot file. So here's the boot file. I don't have it, that's why it's showing 0. I don't actually have it, that's why it's showing 0. The character is 0. But this, guys, in the parent directory, I have 8 root. Then total, I have 80. Cool. So that is a command for that actually. Let me clear my terminal. So if that means for the file, we have to write ls for listing content dash a for all file, l again for long format, then in the current working directory dot, then the parent working directory dot, then including the boot folder. So this is the command. For that case, you just vi I think it's 11 tab, then I insert key. Your first line must have the shebang ls dash a for all dash l for long format in the parent working directory which is single dot, in the current working directory with single dot, then the parent working directory which is dot, then also the boot folder. So if you write that, it should be good, it should be fine. Now let's start on that. So here file tab. Here is file tab. Nice. So for this, we have to write a script that print the type of the file named I am a file. The file I am a file will be in the tmt directory when we will run your script. Now there's a command for file. So there's a command called file. So let me quickly man. So if you don't know, if you come across a new command and you don't know how to use it, you can quickly just go to open your terminal, run man, then the name of the command. So this is the description of what the command does. So here file determines file type. So if you want to type a file type, you run the file command, then the synopsis, how to use it, file dash c, file so. So in case you enter this buffer and you want to get out, so buffer is like a window in the shell, and you want to get out, you type the Q keyboard, Q key. It will take it out. It will take you out of the buffer of man. So here we have to write file, which is the command for checking file type. File. Just run file. Then they said the I am a file will be in the tmt folder, meaning the folder will come first, tmt, then the file I am a file. Enter. Cannot open tmt and file, no such file directory. So let me quickly create such mkdir, let's say tmp, and change that to tmp, and let me create a file using touch command. So touch I am a file, enter, and let me change directory backward. Okay, good. So let me run the file /tmt, which is a folder, then I am a file. MP. Okay. So vi file I insert, Always, your file must have the shebang's. File, remember, for checking the type of file. Then TMP, I am a file. So if you write this, you should be good to go. Actually, they didn't specify what to do, so you have to write a script that print type of the file name I am a file. So now let us execute the file and run it and see what will happen. The reason why I was not checking before is because I just ran it on. It's not a script, so let me execute it. Gmod plus x 12. So it's executed. If I run 12 now. So if you want to run a script, dot / then the file script. Is that what? So this is what you're getting. Is that what you're also getting? So note that depending on the file, the output of your script will be different. So that is that for this particular task. The next one is we have symbols and inhibit symbols. So create a symbolic link. So create a symbolic link to bin /ls, name this. So for this, there's a command. Let me just show you how to use it. Remember, if man ln for link, so it says make links between files. So link is like a pointer. So when you start, if you are doing low level, you encounter pointer in C. So, but if you're not doing low level, then good luck. You will not encounter pointers. So link is like a pointer, right, pointing to another file. So that is that. So here, okay, let me verify that in. We are creating a. Now there are two types of link. We have hard link and simple link. Sorry, hard link and soft link. Sorry. So the first one is the general one is hard. Once you run ln and create a link between two files, it will create a hard link for you. Why is my this thing hanging this scotch? Okay, so let me create a file. Let's say I have a file called touch. Let me say tmt tpm, and I also have another file called another file called maybe make. Now I have two files, tpm and make. Now I want to create a hard link to make. I just run ln make to tpm file exit. Now I did it on purpose because many you can see fail to create hard link. So if you just run ln to create hard link, how do I explain this? So to create a hard link so I was trying to create make is the hard link here. I was trying to create it to tpm, but then if you are creating a new hard link, the file must not exist. So let me just remove the file rmtmp and repeat again tpm. Now let me run you see, if I list my content, you can see that make is now a link, and automatically it created tpm for us. Now the bad thing about hard link is that the essence of link in general is that if you, let's say you have like you are trying to duplicate something, and you have created a file, but then you are trying to be safe. You don't want to lose, like you're trying to be safe. If something happens to your file, maybe you mistakenly deleted your file, somebody deleted your file, you don't want to lose your information. So you want to create a hard link to it. Now the bad thing about hard link is that once you delete the content of the actual file, everything gets deleted. Right? So let's try. So let's say I have make, right? Let me echo something to make. Let's say I echo the name of my school is ALU. Now I redirect it to make. Now if I read the content, so reading, if I want to read the content of a file, there are there are 5 commands for reading the content of a file. They do different things. The first one is head. Head. So head reads the content, the first 10 lines of a file. If you run head, name of the file, it will read the first 10 lines. Tail read the last 10 lines. Sorry, the last 10 lines. Cat displays, also read and display on the console. NL, number list, display it in another buffer. So let me try and run number list here. NL. If I run LL make now, you see, so it displays numbering them, the name of my school. So this one displays numbering them. Then I can't remember the other ones, but that's done that. So I've read the content of make. Now let's try and read the content of TPM. You can see something? They have the same content because they are linked together. Now if I mistakenly delete make, let me try and delete make, you see. Let me delete now. rm-rf, let's say I delete make, the actual file. Now make is gone. So let's try and read the content of TPM. Cat. Oh, it's still there. Okay, good. Now that is that on hard link. So for soft link is ln-s for soft, then whatever. So let's go back to the project. So here we are creating a soft link to symbolic link, soft link. It's also known as symbolic link or soft link. Being this guy. So let me demonstrate for soft link now. Let me remove TPM, sorry, and also TMP. Don't want it. So they are all gone. Alright, so let me create a file called under make again. So I have make, and let me create a soft link to make ln dash, sorry, is it ln dash s for symbolic or soft make, and say tmp. So tmp is the soft link to make. So if I list my content, you can see that tmp is colored. So tmp is the link, is the soft link to make. So let's add the content to it. I think I said something that was kind of I mistake the explanation for this. So for hard link is if you delete the content of the actual file, the link will still have it. But so let's see what is in soft link. So let me echo the name of my school. The name of my school is ALU. Now let me direct it to make. Now automatically the link gets updated. Boom. Now let's read the content of the link. You can see the name of my school is ALU. Now let's delete the actual file, which is make rm-rf, and say we get rid of make. Now let's read the content of TMP. It's broken. Yeah, it's broken. So soft link, once we delete the content of the actual file of a soft link, the link gets broken. You can't read the content again. But for hard link, even if you delete the content of the actual file, the link will still have the content. Do you guys understand? So that is the difference between hard and soft link. I hope you understood that. So if I vi 13 now, where we're told to write the file, now you can see ln-s. So here __ls is the link, is the soft link to this. Now this bin is a folder, then ls is the file. So __ls is the soft link to ls. Do you guys understand? So let me just go out of here. So I'm out. Check your code and you should be fine. So they say copy HTML files. So copy HTML file. So here we have to create a script that does the copying. I was checking the YouTube to see. So create a script that copies all the HTML file from the current working directory. Remember current working directory again, guys. Dot right to the parent working directory. So let me demonstrate something. Let me remove TMP. I don't need it in my project, so it's gone. Let me create a new folder where I can demonstrate this thing here. mkdir and say mkdir and say HTML, for example. Change that to HTML. So I am in HTML, right? Now let me create some dummy file. Let me touch. I want to create three separate files. I want to create three files with different extension. So I say touch index.html, main.html, and say styles.css, and say maybe script.js. Now index.html means this is an HTML file. Index.css means this is a CSS file and JavaScript file. Now, right, I have this file here. Well, so I want to copy all the HTML file to a new file in the current. I want to copy all the HTML file in this current working directory to the parent working directory. Now, the parent working directory here is basis. The HTML and directory is the current working directory. Now, to copy files or copy folders, you make use of cp command for copying. So if I man cp, for example, you see, so cp means copy files and directory. So if you want to copy the files, if you want to copy directory, you make use of cp command. And to get out of this buffer, you just click on the Q, it takes you out. So let's say I want to copy index.html, main.html to the parent working directory. I will use cp. Now I don't want to manually enter index.html. Let's say I have 1,000 HTML files, and I want to copy all HTML files. I don't want to manually type index, so it will take me time. So there's a character called asterisk that means all. Then you add the extension .html. It means copy all the files that ends with .html, meaning index.html, main.html. Now where are we copying into? If I were to copy it to a file, I just type in the file, no problem. But since here I'm copying to the parent, I make use of the double dot. And if I enter, if I list my content, you will see them. Okay, sorry, I copied them, I didn't move them. So so there's a difference between copying and move. So if I copy in, you still have the actual file there. So now let me change directory to my parent directory, which is basis. If I list my content now, you will see that I have index.html, I have main.html. So that is that. Let me delete them. rm-rf html folder, yeah, and then the index, yeah, and the main, yeah. So they are all gone now. Good. So if I vi 14, I think, and tab, I enter. Remember your Shebans. Shebans must be there. All the Shebans. So very simple. Shebans, copy all .html file then to the parent directory. Let's start on that. Now let's go to the next one, which is 15. So let's move here. Create a script that moves all files. Now I will mention move all files beginning with an upper letter to the directory tmp/u. You can assume that the HTML file will exist when we run your script. And so here we have to create a script that moves all file with an uppercase letter. Very, very simple. All files with an uppercase letter. Move all files. So I can guess that you know the command for moving. The command for moving a file is mv. Now, they said if you read the instruction again, it said beginning with an uppercase letter. So it means we need to put some specific. We need to specify what you are moving. So in a square bracket, I say A to Z, right? With an uppercase letter, A to Z, then all, the asterisk all, then where are we moving them to? We are moving to tmp/u. So that's where I'm moving them to. So if you write this thing, it should be good. If I want them, will it work? Doesn't work. So if I vi 15, let's move. So same thing. You move command, specify what you are moving. You said an uppercase letter A to Z, then all. I'm moving everything. Then where are you moving them to? I'm moving them to the folder tmt and the file u. So if I escape wq, should be fine. Check your code, should be good as well. So the next one is clean emails. Create a script that deletes all files in the current working directory that ends with the character tilde. So tilde is the home. Tilde is the home. So you have to create a script that deletes all. So how do we this particular one is kind of tricky actually, because here we need to find in the current directory. What are we finding? We need to give it a name. Then all the home directory tilde files. Then which type? Is it a file? If it's a file, then we delete. Now there's if you just run the rm and everything, it may give you some error because here we are deleting including tilde sign. So there's a command called find actually. It's found and delete. So you can use the find display, that's fine. So let me find. So we can see. You see, find, search for files in a directory hierarchy. Go downward. That's some flags. So the command is big actually. So let me go to D. There is that waiting time. So the find command, we are finding. If we go back to the instruction again, create a script that deletes all files in the current working directory. Find in the current directory. I want you to find in the current directory. Then speed. So the find command takes many flags. I explained flag the other time. Anything that comes after minus is a flag, so it's specific. So you need to give it a name. What are we finding? We are finding in a square bracket, in a double quote of, remember the asterisk, then tilde sign, all the tilde sign. Now, what is the type? Is it a file? Is it a folder? So here is a file. Then you can just run delete. Please, this is supposed to be a script. I don't want to delete all the tilde sign in my sandbox. So I will not run the command. So write it in the script, but this is just the explanation. Then you delete. So please write it in the script. So if I vi think system emacs, so same thing. You find first in the where are you finding from? I'm finding from the current directory, then space. What is the name? Dash n. Then what are you looking for? You're looking for the tilde sign means home, everything in the home. Now we are deleting everything in the home. Hey God. Then what is the type? Is it a file? Folder is a file. Then you run then you type the delete as well. So with that, you should be fine. So let's think this is the last one, 3. This is the last one, and we call it a day. Where is it? 3. Yeah, this is the last one actually. So create a script that creates the directory welcome to, then welcome to school. Very, 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 very simple, right? So here, this guy here, the first one is a folder, the second one is a folder, then third one, this two is a folder, then these are all directories actually. These are all directory. So how do you create them in a single line? So remember creating the directory mkdir. Then because we have multiple folders we are creating, you just like to put them in a square bracket. And the first one we're creating is welcome. Then it's a folder minus. Don't add space to it, please. If you add space to it, to not check. Second one is welcome to. It's a folder again. Then space. Then welcome /2/school. Right. Boom. You see, I have the welcome here. If I change directory to welcome, if I list, I have 2. If I change directory to 2, if I list, I have school. If I change directory to school, you see what I'm thinking. So this is the hierarchy. So this is what they want us to create. So you can just vi 17, I think. Oops, this thing is hanging. Oh, sorry, I'm the wrong. So here I want to change directory back to basis. So if I'm changing directory to 2, I mix of double dot right, /. If I'm changing directory back to welcome, another double dot right, /, then I run enter. You see, I'm seeing welcome, then change directory again, double dots. Then I should go back to basis. And let me just delete welcome. Welcome is gone. Sorry, let me vi 17. So you see, the first thing is make directory, then the first one in the square bracket. So in a curly braces actually, welcome minus welcome to school. So with that, you should be very, very fine. So with this, we have come to the end of Shell Basis project. I hope you are fine with it now. If you have any question, you can just drop it in the chat box. I answer them and we call it a day. Does anyone here have question? Do you need clarity on something? So in the absence of does any here, so we have come to the end of the share basis project. Maybe tomorrow, hopefully we'll start the share permission, explaining the concept to you all. And if you have any question, any challenges, your check is failing, you don't understand, you have tried, you have Google search, you have used all the resources you have, they are still failing, drop them in the chat box. Let's see how we can help. Let's see how we can help. Okay, this is 55 minutes already. So in the absence of question, thank you all for joining today. If you know anyone who is having challenges solving their this week challenge, you can just share them the link, let them watch, go through it. Thank you. We meet again. Have a nice day.